Hi there, everybody. I am Scott Stanchfield. We're going to talk about Eclipse today. If you have any questions at any point, please give me a yell. Just, shout it out, raise your hand, whatever. I will try to respond. If I don't repeat the question, please ask me to repeat the question so that it'll get on the video as well. That way, if other people are watching, they won't just hear an answer and try to have to figure out the question. Kind of like, what's the question that caused 42 to be the answer? So what we're going to do is take a look at a bunch of things in Eclipse, just little tips and tricks that I like to use to help be more productive. There's a lot of things that I do whenever I'm programming, and somebody might be looking over my shoulder and they'll say, "How did you do that?" And this is kind of where that information comes from. Is these are a bunch of little tips that I like to show people. What I did is I started with a brand new clean workspace here. When you first open it up, some of the things I like to do is I like to get rid of any extra clutter that's over here, especially this outline view. I find the outline view pretty useless. The reason I find it useless is because there's actually a really nice shortcut to bring up the outline view as you're going, and you almost never need it. So throw that guy away. You don't need him. Down at the bottom here, we got this Java doc view. Again, bye. Declaration. Sometimes the declaration view is nice. You can click on something and actually see the declaration down there. Most of the time I just float over it, the declaration pops up. So bye. Away he goes. Nice and clean workspace now. So what we're going to do is go through a bunch of settings before I do anything. And up at the Window Preferences menu, we're going to take a look, first of all, underneath General and Editors, Text Editors. And a couple little options I like. First of all, this one called Show Print Margin. This one's actually pretty nice because it gives you a little line in your editor so that you can see where that imaginary 80 columns is or however much you want. I usually like to make it a little bigger, like 120 or 160 or something like that. Kind of depends on what your standards on your project are, but it gives you a nice eyeball for where you want to cut off your code. Up here where it says Insert Spaces for Tabs, depending on what your standards are, some people like to use tabs.